Welcome back, guys, to the Andrei Delic Podcast. Another reality check, another episode. Let me start off with probably, I just read this quote recently, and it's probably the coolest quote I've ever read in my entire lifetime. And it's a quote that was written on a tombstone, and more precisely, the tombstone of Lucius Cornelius Sulla, 78 BC, the year he died. And on his tombstone is written, "No friend ever served me, and no enemy ever wronged me, whom I have not repaid in full." Now that's fucking badass, man. I ain't gonna lie. Imagine you died, and then you're like, "Yo, bro, on my fucking tombstone, like, I don't want to just write about it. I don't want to just talk about it. On my fucking tombstone, I want no friend ever served me, and no enemy ever wronged me, whom I have not repaid in full." Written as my quote. Not, oh my God, he was such a loving father and a loving husband and a loving fucking uncle, whatever. But no friend ever served me and no enemy ever wronged me, whom I have not repaid in full. That's going out like a fucking top G. That's when you die and you're like, yo, let me go out like a fucking top fucking G, man. So he's saying basically, everyone, whoever was his friend, whoever did something to him in his favor to help him, whoever served him in any way, he has repaid him in full. So he never left anyone hanging whom he deserved to repay. But also at the same time, no enemy, whoever wronged him, he never left him just be as he is. He fucking got his revenge. Now, of course, me being a Christian, a big Christian, of course there's this talk of eye for an eye isn't good. There's no need for revenge. We should all forgive each other. But as a fucking leader and a conqueror, you want to fucking give revenge to your enemies. And this is what he did. And that's fucking badass. I ain't gonna lie. So he went to his grave having done everything he could have. And he went to his grave without any regrets when it comes with his relationship with other people, good or bad. He went to his grave with zero regrets, zero remorse. He left no stone left unturned. Whoever served him, whichever friend served him, he repaid him. And whichever enemy ever wronged him, he also repaid him in full. So no matter what you did to him, good or bad, he will repay you accordingly to what you did to him. Now, that's a badass fucking quote, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, if I have my tombstone, I'm probably going to have kids and a loving wife and everything. My future wife, if you're listening to this, if you're watching this, I fucking love you. My future kids, there's nothing I love more in this world than you guys. But this quote, man, this is something, man, I probably want this shit written on my tombstone. And of course, he was a loving father and a loving husband and whatever else. Next up, okay, so someone wrote, for all of you guys who know, Kobe Bryant died in 2019, was it? Or 2020? I think it was 2020, just before COVID happened. Yeah, that's when it was. The beginning, the first month of 2020. He died. It was a tragedy. The entire world stopped. Everyone was grieving because Kobe Bryant was a big fucking icon, not only in the role of sports, but just in the world in general. Kobe Bryant, one of the biggest icons the world has ever produced. Kobe Bryant died 6 years ago. So many accomplishments, yet nobody cares anymore. This is the reality of life. Once you're gone, people move on. This is why you should do whatever you want, regardless of what others think. You'll die and no one will talk about you anyway. This is true. Now, he's not saying that, Kobe Bryant died, we don't give a fuck. No, of course, it's really sad. We all grieved. And Kobe Bryant was one of the biggest icons and one of the most influential human beings to ever exist. And that's what I think, and that's what most people think about Kobe Bryant. But the main point of this is, even if you become someone as successful, as famous, as rich, as accomplished as Kobe Bryant, the day you'll die, I mean, it's not unfair. It's not mean. It's just the world won't care anymore about you. It's just how it is. Why? I mean, at the same time, think about it. Everyone has their problems. Everyone has their life to live. No one's going to, just because an icon died, which is always sad, RIP, the world doesn't stop turning. Your problems don't stop being problems. You still have your problems and you still have your life to live. You still have your kids, you still have your job, your dreams, your difficulties, your wife, whatever. You still have your life. So in a way, it's normal. And I mean, not to take nothing away from anybody, but no matter what you accomplish, no matter who you fucking are, you are gonna die one day. Even if you become fucking Napoleon, you become a king on planet Earth, even if you become Julius Caesar, even if you become an emperor, you cannot live forever. No one is immortal, and no one will ever be immortal. And no matter how much you've accomplished, Alexander the Great, the list goes on, Napoleon Bonaparte, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Lionel Messi, Diego Armando Maradona, the Beatles, Rolling Stones, the greatest actors of all time, Marlon Brando, Robert De Niro, whoever you might be, and whatever you might accomplish, and no matter how big those accomplishments might be, the day you die, no one will care about you anymore. Which is, I mean, it's not cold, it's not mean, it's just, it is how it is. People have their lives, they have their problems, and in a way, like, it is what it is. But this should not be something to bring you down. It shouldn't be something to make you sad. It should be something that should free you and free your soul, and then make you do whatever you want to do and not be fearful anymore to do things that you're afraid to do. That's what it should do. It should open your eyes to you doing whatever you want to do. Why? Because no matter what you do, good or bad, no matter how many times you fail, no matter what type of embarrassments you faced on your journey to accomplishing your dreams, no matter what rejections you face, no matter what losses you face, no matter what you accomplish, no matter what wins you accomplish, no matter what you win, no matter how much money you make, no matter how much status you acquire, no matter how famous you become, at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck. It's sad to say, but at the same time, it's so liberating and it's so joyful to say that no matter who you are, deep down, like deep down, no one gives a fuck about you. No one gives a fuck. Believe me, I don't care if you're Elon Musk. I don't care if you're Adolf Hitler. I don't care if you're Justin Bieber. I don't care if you're a normal 9-to-5 McDonald's worker. At the end of the day, when all is said and done, no one gives a fuck about you. And that should be liberating as fuck. That should push you, and that should open your eyes that you can literally chase whatever your dreams are. No matter what people say about you, at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck. No one cares. Just do what brings you joy, what brings you fulfillment, and what brings your soul fulfillment and joy. That should be your main idea in life, and that should be your main goal in life. You find your passion, and like, if I might add, life goes by very quickly, and life is very short. So, and from what we know, you only live once. So if you're gonna live a life, you're living it for yourself. No one else can live your life. You're not living your life to please other people. You're living your life to please your soul and to please yourself. So you might as well do what you're passionate about, no matter what anyone says. And like it or not, at the end of the day, like I said, no one gives a fuck about you. So if people hate, if people applaud you, in both circumstances, in both cases, you shouldn't give a fuck. Why? Because if you're going to do something only so you can receive applause from other people, but it's something that you don't like to do, then you didn't really win. Because yes, they're maybe going to applaud you, but at the end of the day, they're not going to give a fuck about you. So if you're going to do something only for money, only to show other people how successful you are, how smart you are, how rich you are, how famous you are, but deep down, what you're doing isn't bringing you any joy, isn't bringing you any fulfillment for your soul and for yourself, you're not winning. You're just looking for other people's approval. And if you care for other people's approval, good or bad, if you care a lot for their good approval, you're also going to care a lot about their bad approval. It goes both ways. You cannot be immune to bad review regarding yourself. You cannot be immune to people hating on you and then not be immune to people praising you. It goes together. If you care a lot when people praise you, you're also going to care a lot when people hate on you. It goes together. When you care a lot about when people hate on you, you're also going to care a lot about when people praise you. It's because at the end of the day, you care how society perceives you and you care what other people have to say about you. But if you find what you're passionate about, regardless of whoever thinks, regardless of whatever it may be, if you do something purely out of joy, out of excitement, out of fulfillment, just because it's purely a passion, and whenever you do it, you get in a flow status, you forget about all your problems, and you're just enjoying the moment, and you're doing something that fulfills your soul and your mind and keeps you occupied and keeps you in a flow status, that is when you will not give a fuck if people praise you, if they'll hate on you, if they'll like what you do, if they hate what you do. You just won't give a fuck because you'll simply be doing it out of love for doing it. And that's how it should be. You should only do things you're passionate about, and you should only strive to do things and to accomplish things that bring you joy and bring you fulfillment and bring you a sense of betterment and a sense of you becoming a better version of yourself and becoming a better person. That's the only thing you should care about. You should not care about, okay, if I start doing this, how is he going to perceive me? How is she going to perceive me? Are the women going to like me? Are the men going to like me? Are people going to follow me? Are they going to like me? Are they going to buy my product? Are they going to listen to me? Are they going to watch me? Whatever. You shouldn't give a fuck. At the end of the day, you should ask yourself, whenever I do this passion, whenever I do this action, how do I feel? Does it bring me joy? Does it bring me fulfillment? Does it bring me happiness? Does it bring me peace of mind? Do I feel accomplished? Do I feel fulfilled? If the answer is yes to all those questions, then keep doing it. Even if it isn't bringing you any money, even if people hate on you, even if it isn't bringing anything monetarily wise towards you, even if you can't make a living out of it yet, because one day you are going to make a living out of it because you'll get better, you have a better following and whatever. If at the end of the day, if you love doing it, if it brings you fulfillment, if you feel like it is your passion, if you feel like it is something you're willing and ready and capable to do for the rest of your life without ever receiving money or approval from other people, and just the fact that you're doing it and it brings you enough fulfillment and enough pleasure and joy, if that is enough, then you have won. You have won in life, and you'll keep on winning because that is the point of life. Next topic. Patrick Bet-David said on Facebook, he said, people underestimate how long it takes to win big. You struggle for 10 years, eventually, and one day you achieve more than you did your entire life. Be patiently aggressive. I fucking love this. Let's say me, right? My passion, this podcast, trying to make something out of it, maybe one day make money out of it, maybe make a living out of it, and just become a full-time podcaster. That would, of course, be my end goal and my dream, of course. Now, is it going to happen? Knock on fucking wood. It does. I'm pretty sure it will. I'm going to strive towards it. Actually, it will. Let me be optimistic. Let me write it in stone. Let me predict it. Let me manifest it. It is going to happen one day. But people don't understand how long it fucking takes. And when I say how long it takes, I cannot speak from experience, but there is something that I could speak out of experience, is getting this fitness body that I've wanted to get for the past years. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And once you get it, like The Rock constantly says, is success isn't something you buy. It's only something you can lease. It's only something you can lease for, and the rent is due every single day, right? That's how he said it. You cannot buy success. You can only rent it, and the rent is due every single day. So even when you do get success, you must maintain it. Same goes for getting your dream physique, right? Let's say your dream physique is here and you're here right now. There will be the journey of you getting to that dream physique. But once you get there, you cannot just then lay on your boat, lay on your couch and say, okay, I have achieved my dream body. Now I'm just gonna lay in my bed all my life and do nothing. You're gonna lose your body. So even once you achieve your dream body, you still have to maintain it for the rest of your life. And the rent is due every single fucking day. Every single day you have to think about, did I work out? Did I put my steps in? Did I work out enough? Did I eat well? Did I eat enough? Did I eat too much? Did I not eat too much? Did I hit my protein intake? Did I eat too much sugar? Did I eat too much carbs? Every single day you have to think about it. Every single day you have to put effort towards it. Of course, you can take days off, which is something that most people do. Let's say from Monday to Saturday, I'm going to hit the gym every single day. Then on Sunday, I'm not going to hit the gym because I'm going to rest, which is also something that is needed for your body. Because even if you don't rest, first of all, your body isn't going to recover well. So you're not only not going to progress, but you're going to degress. And also mentally, you're going to burn yourself, and then you're just going to end up quitting. You have to learn to not quit, but to learn how to take breaks, because sometimes you need a break. No matter who you are, you need a break from time to time from your biggest passion and even from what you're chasing. But then at the end of the day, you take a break and then you get back on the train of accomplishing whatever you want to accomplish. So that's why People underestimate how long it takes to win big. They think, a couple of months, two or 3 years, 4 or 5 years. Sometimes it takes struggling for literally 10 years. Something that the 99.999% of people aren't ready to do is struggle for a long period of time. Do something consistently, persistently over a long period of time without any results. And then at the end, there will be a huge result. Just like I brought up many times, what's his name? Dave Portnoy, the founder and CEO of Barstool Sports, right? He said it explicitly many times on many podcasts on his own platform. He said it many times that when he started off with Barstool Sports, for 10 years, he wasn't making any kind of profit. He had bad credit, his rent was late. For 10 years, Barstool Sports, the big media company that it is today in 2026, one of the biggest media companies in the world for when it comes to sports, culture, entertainment, and just everything in general. It became everything Barstool Sports now. Before it became one of the biggest media companies in the world, he was struggling for 10 years. He wasn't making any money, or maybe he was making minimal money out of it, and he wasn't making anything out of it. And then he said, once he was able to turn the corner around, he was making millions and millions. And he said that once he got that 1 million, it was easy for him to get 5, 10, 15, 20, 100, and whatever he has. His company is valued at probably like $500 million. He has a net worth of like $400 million. He's a multi-millionaire right now, Dave Portnoy. But he said that for 10 years, he couldn't turn around his company. He couldn't make a profit, but he never fucking gave up. He held the vision day by day, doing the necessary steps, moving forward, never giving up, patiently progressing, just like David said. Be patiently aggressive. Be aggressive, but learn how to be patient at the same time. Take steps every single day, but make sure that you take enough steps every single day. But at the same time, don't take too many steps every single day, or one day you'll just end up giving up because it's going to be too much. Learn small progress is better than no progress. So make sure that there's progress, no matter how small, no matter how big, as long as there is progress, that is what's the most important. And then, of course, you have people like Elon Musk who says that one thing that actually can help you a lot is take your 10-year plan for your dreams and try to accomplish it in 6 months. You probably won't accomplish it, but you'll be way further and you'll be way closer to your dreams if you didn't adopt that mentality in the beginning of, okay, I have my 10-year plan. Let me try to accomplish it in 6 months. You're not going to accomplish it. You're probably not going to achieve it, but you'll be way closer to your dreams. You'll be way more steps further in front of your dreams than if you didn't adopt that kind of mentality that Elon Musk says. And that's a mentality that I love the philosophy and the mentality behind it and like the way of thinking behind it. Yes, you have this big goal, this big dream, and you understand that it takes a lot of fucking time. It can take 10 years, 20 years, 5 years. It takes a lot of time. But if you're patient, but you're aggressive, you keep going forward, nothing's stopping you, because sometimes you have to put in a lot of fucking volume. Just like Alex Hormozi said that if he could only have one piece of advice for the rest of his life, if all of his content was deleted from social media, from the internet, from television, from whatever, and he could only leave the world with one piece of advice, he said that he would leave it with this. Find out what you're passionate about and do so much fucking volume that it would be irrational and illogical that you weren't successful in that domain that you are passionate about. Now, I'm paraphrasing it, but that's the general gist of it. Find what you're passionate about and do so much fucking volume that it would be illogical and irrational that you're not successful in that domain. It's pretty similar to what Elon Musk said with take your 10-year plan, try to accomplish it in 6 months. You probably aren't going to accomplish it, but you'll be way closer to your dreams than if you didn't adopt that mentality and that mindset. So that's something I love. But also at the same time, even if after 6 months of fucking going like an animal, even if you don't accomplish your dreams, your 10-year plan, like Elon Musk said, you probably won't, don't get discouraged. Understand that it's just going to take even more time. It's not going to happen. It is going to happen. If you can dream it, if you can think it, if you can manifest it, if it's inside of you, there's a reason that your dream is inside of you. It's not there for no reason. It's not there out of pure luck. God, the world, destiny, your soul put it inside of you so that you can go out in the world and manifest your dreams. So if it's inside of you, if you think about it, if you dream about it, it's because it is possible. But the only way that you can accomplish that is by putting a lot of fucking work, never giving up, being persistent, facing your fears, facing rejection and failure and not giving up, getting knocked down 10 times, getting back up 11 times. That is the only way you can accomplish your dreams. And realizing that it takes a lot of fucking time and you need to have a lot of patience, but at the same time, be aggressive and go after what you want aggressively. Every single day, focus on conquering yourself, conquering the day, and then you go to bed. So every single day, if you focus on the long term, on the end goal, you're going to neglect what you have to do every single day, the basic tasks that you have to do every single day in order to get to that end goal. But if you focus every single day, okay, today is Tuesday. What is the most I can do today to be the closest to my dream? Do that. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go work. I'm going to work on my side hustle. I'm going to work on this. Okay, I did the most I can today. Now I go rest. I go sleep. I wake up. And then how can I do the best for today? If you do that every single day, then you start off by conquering the day. Then it goes to conquering the week. Then it goes to conquering the month. Then it goes to conquering the year, conquering the decade, and conquering your life. But it starts off with conquering every single minute, conquering every single hour, conquering every single day, and then conquering every single week, every single month, every single year, every single decade, and then the rest of your life. That's how it works. Day by day, step by steps, small victories. Aim to be better every single day. Your goal should be, how can I be better than what I was yesterday? What do I have to do to be better than I was yesterday? What do I have to face to be better and more competent and be more accomplished as a human being than what I was yesterday? Do that every single day. And after a couple of years, you're going to look back. You're going to be like, Jesus fucking Christ, I became way better. I developed a lot. I leveled up a lot. And I'm way closer to my dreams than I was before. But you start off with, how can I be better than who I was yesterday? If you adopt that mentality, man, it's going to do wonders for you in every single aspect of your life, in your dreams, in your physique, in your health, in your wealth, and whatever. It's going to do wonders and it's going to do magic. So this is how I see it. Me personally is, I sleep 8 hours because I fucking need 8 hours. I know some people sleep 6, 7, 4, 5, whatever. And they're like, oh my God, I feel so fucking good. Good for you guys. I'm happy for you guys. But I personally need 8. And I've read from all the researches I have done on my side and all the lectures that I have read is that sleeping 8 hours is the most important for your body and is the right amount of sleep that you need for brain functionality, brain focus, your metabolism working well, your physical body working well, your testosterone levels being correct, and just everything else. That's why in my mind, how I see it is I have 24 hours. If I sleep 8 hours, 16 hours is more than enough to get accomplished whatever I want to accomplish in a day. 16 hours for me is more than enough. I can go to the gym for an hour, which is more than enough. Believe me, you don't need to go to the gym for 2 hours a day. That's too much. You're just going to tire your body too much. Going to the gym for 1 hour a day, more than enough. Working 8 hours on my job, more than enough. And then 8, 9. So I still have 7 hours to eat, work on my dreams, work on my podcast, go take a shower, take a shit, walk 10,000 steps. It's more than enough. And plus, by sleeping 8 hours, my 16 hours are going to be more focused, are going to be more productive and of better quality than someone who has 19 hours because he only slept 5 hours. He's going to have more quantity, but the quality of those hours are going to be less productive and less good than mine because I slept 8 hours, which will then allow me to have 16 really good, really focused, really progressive and really productive hours. That's why, in my opinion, that's why it's important to rest as much as your body needs and to sleep your 8 hours. And every single doctor, every single health physicist, every single health doctor says that 8 hours in general is the right amount of sleep that all human beings need in general. Of course, I hear some people sleep like 4 or 5 and they feel good. Good for them. But for me personally, 8 hours is perfect, is a sweet spot. And then I have 16 hours to accomplish all of my dreams. And you feel like, okay, but Andre, Like, who are you? What did you accomplish? Okay, fair fact. Jeff Bezos, right? You probably guys know him. One of the most accomplished individuals of all time and one of the richest individuals of all time. And he says, I sleep 8 hours every single day and I have 16 hours to accomplish all of my dreams. And he said it's more than enough. If Jeff Bezos can sleep 8 hours a day and have the time to do whatever he needs to do with 16 hours, broski, you can sleep 8 hours and you'll be good with 16, believe me. Because Jeff Bezos is one of the most accomplished individuals of all time and one of the richest individuals of all time. And he sleeps 8 hours a day. So, next topic. Oh, it's football. Fucking love it. So, someone put, actually, it's 442. For people who don't know, 442 is the past of 433. Now, 433 is like a big media company for football. Before 433 was a big media company, the biggest media company of football was 442, right? It talks about football formations, right? Before 442, every single team used to play 442. Now every single team plays 433, and it's just the name of a media company. But 442, they made a list of the top 25 greatest African players of all time. And I just want to do the top 10 and say my opinion on it. So for top 10, they have, at first place, they have Mo Salah. Second place, they have George Weah. Third place, they have Samuel Eto'o. Fourth place, they have Didier Drogba. Fifth place, they have Yaya Toure. I'll get back to it. Let me just do the top 10 and then I'll get back to it. Sixth place, they have Sadio Mane. Seventh place, they have Riyad Mahrez. Eighth place, they have Abedi Pelé. Ninth place, they have Michael Essien. And in 10th place, they have JJ Okocha. The top 10 is correct, but it's not in the correct order. But the 10 players there are, all 10 players who are currently in the top 10 of 442 deserve to be in that top 10, but it's just not in the correct order. Let me re-put it in the correct order. In first place, without debate, without analysis needed, first place is Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure is by far the greatest African player of all time. He is. At the same time, he is one of the greatest midfielders of all time, regardless of continent, regardless of country, regardless of race, whatever. He is one of the greatest midfielders of all time, Yaya Toure, and there's no debating that. But when it comes to greatest African players of all time, he's number one. He is the greatest African player of all time, Yaya Toure. Second place, in my opinion, I have Samuel Eto'o. Third place, I have Didier Drogba. Fourth place, I have George Weah. Fifth place, I have Sadio Mane. Sixth place, I have Mo Salah. Yes, Sadio Mane is and was a better player than Mohamed Salah. Altogether, Sadio Mane is better than Mohamed Salah. He plays better. I don't know if he accomplished more, but he accomplished a lot. And he had a really fruitful career also, Sadio Mane. And in my opinion, between Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, in the top 10 list for African players, Sadio Mane is above Mohamed Salah, in my opinion. Seventh place, Abedi Pelé. Eighth place, Riyad Mahrez is fair. And then Michael Essien and JJ Okocha. So that is fair. But the greatest African player of all time is and always will be Yaya Toure. Not always. Probably one day someone's going to surpass him. But for now, until 2026, the greatest African player of all time is Yaya Toure. And if I might add, he's also the greatest defensive midfielder of all time with Busquets. Guys, you know how much I love fucking Yaya Toure and how much I respect him. I fucking love him. But Busquets is right next to Yaya Toure. You cannot say easily and confidently and without any debate and without any analysis that Yaya Toure is miles above Busquets. Maybe Busquets is better. Maybe Yaya Toure is better. They're fucking equal, man. Because I saw many podcasts saying easily and confidently, oh yeah, Yaya Toure is the greatest defensive midfielder of all time without any debate. I'm like, you guys know how much I fucking love Yaya Toure, how much I respect him, but don't disrespect Sergio Busquets, man. Jesus fucking Christ. Sergio fucking Busquets, guys. Yes, Yaya Toure is also as good as he is. Like I said, they're the two greatest defensive midfielders of all time. Different roles. Busquets is more technical, more control the play, control the ball. Yaya Toure is more like, he runs all over the place, can defend, he can attack, box to box, can shoot from long range, free kicks, good dribbling, good passing. He's like complete. But Sergio Busquets, when it comes to controlling the tempo, controlling the game, being calm under pressure, breaking lines with passes. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Ball control, dribbling, not losing the ball, circulating the ball, moving the team around, moving the ball around, calming the play. What a fucking player, Sergio Busquets, man. Jesus Christ, bro. Yo, he was mad, bro. In his prime, and Sergio Busquets was fucking mad, bro. Jesus Christ, I'm thinking about him right now. Wow, bro, he used to be amazing. But so did Yaya fucking Toure. Different roles, same level. Busquets and Yaya Toure are the two greatest defensive midfielders of all fucking time. Those two players. That's how I see it. That's why I just want to address it, because I saw many podcasts of people. I've seen both, right? I've seen people overrating Yaya Toure, and I've seen people underrating Yaya Toure. In general, there's more people who underrate Yaya Toure than who overrate him, which is a fact. More people underrate him than overrate him, but there are some people who also overrate him. And what I mean is, some people say easily that Yaya Toure is the greatest defensive midfielder of all time without any debate, without anything. Let's not forget who fucking Sergio Busquets is. I'm unbiased. I'm rational. I can see it for what it is. I purely look at how they play. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about their life outside the pitch. I don't care about their religious affiliations, whatever it may fucking be. I look at how they play. I look at the game and I look at them. With my high footballing IQ, I look at both of them. Busquets and Yaya Toure are equal. Now it depends what type of team you have. If you have more of a Real Madrid, more of a Man City team, then you're going to want Yaya Toure. Not Man City now, but Man City before. So I feel like if you have more of a Barca team, which is control the ball, tiki-taka, then it's better to have a Busquets. Of course, Yaya Toure could easily fit in that role, and so could Busquets easily fit in a role with Real Madrid, whatever. They're so fucking talented, and they're so fucking good as a number 6 that they could play in any team and fucking be phenomenal. But in their peak, for a team like Barca, when they play tiki-taka, Busquets is the perfect defensive midfielder for them. And for a team like Man City in the past, where they played more attacking, EPL, strong, physical, fast, Yaya Toure is better suited for that type of league. But at the end of the day, Yaya Toure could easily play in a tiki-taka system. He's going to excel and be phenomenal. And so could Busquets easily play in a Premier League system, which is more physical, more fast-paced, and excel there really fucking well. So, same level, different roles, but same fucking level, man. Throughout life, now I'm going to get more philosophical, more religious. See it how you want to see it. And whenever I say God, you don't have to think about God in the Christian way or in the Muslim way or in the religious way. Just think about, when I say God, think of a higher power, about the world, and about the universe. That is what I mean when I say God, because at the end of the day, it's all basically the same. God is always by your side throughout your life. No matter who you become, no matter how badly you fucked up in the past, no matter how fucking badly you fumbled, no matter who you are, no matter who you were, and no matter who you will become, God will always, always, always be by your side. Always. Through good, through bad, through ups and downs, he will always be by your side. No matter who you become, no matter who you are, no matter how badly you fucked up, even when it feels like no one is by your side anymore, all your family left you, they all disowned you, no one wants to be your friend anymore, and it feels like everyone and everything has left you alone, God hasn't, and God will never ever. Even if you go to jail, everyone disowns you, no one wants to have anything to do with you, God will always be by your side. And no matter what happens to your life, no matter what happens to you, it's God showing you a message, showing you where you can maybe become better, showing you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing good, what you should change. God is always, every single second of our life, giving us signs and showing us messages and talking to us. He isn't talking to us straightly with voice, as I am talking to you straightly with my voice and with a camera. That's not how God communicates with us. He communicates with us with events that are happening in our lives, through our own thoughts, through things that we see in this world, through our relationship with other people, through us simply living life. Every single second of our life that is lived by us, God is talking to us and showing us signals and messages. That is the beauty of God. But the only way you can hear God talk is when you silence your ego, silence your inner voice, silence mostly your ego, and listen to your soul and to your intuition. That is how God talks to you. That is the only way he talks to you. God doesn't talk to you through your ego. If I might add, whenever your ego is talking to you, that's the devil talking to you. Whenever God is talking to you, is through your soul and through your intuition. And the only way, it's scientifically proven, it's proven by all the biggest gurus in this world, all the biggest social scientists, the only way that you can listen to your soul, listen to your intuition, is when you calm your mind down, and is when you have peace of mind. And when you calm down your mind, you shut down your ego, and you simply listen to your soul and your intuition. And that is when you will hear God speak to you. That is when you will hear everything that God, the universe, however you see it, however you call it, a higher power, that is when they communicate with you. Mel Gibson, for people who don't know, he was a big actor. He still is one of the biggest A-list actors to ever exist in Hollywood. He recently lost his Malibu mansion in a devastating 2025 Palisades fire. His mansion was evaluated to be worth $14.5 million. So imagine you're Mel Gibson, and then in California, there's always some fires. And then, like it or not, I mean, the fire doesn't discriminate. It doesn't give a fuck if your house is worth millions of dollars or if it's worth $200,000. It will burn it down if it is in its vicinity. And it burned down Mel Gibson's house, which was approximately $14.5 million. And Mel Gibson being highly religious. Now, let's not talk about him being anti-Semitic. Everyone who knows Mel Gibson, they all heard the story when he was drunk driving and then he got pulled over by cops and he started making a lot of anti-Semitic remarks. Of course, anti-Semitism isn't good, and I condone everyone who is anti-Semitic, but let's not talk about that. That's not the topic that I want to address right now. The topic I want to address doesn't necessarily have to do anything with Mel Gibson or him as an actor or Hollywood, but it is about having faith in God. Because when he lost his mansion, he said, and I'm quoting him, "God gives, God takes away. We enter with nothing, we leave with nothing. Seek first the kingdom of God, you'll always be all right." So that is as hard as it may be, but that is the right mentality to have and to adopt. That is the right mentality. No matter what happens to you, good or bad, it is the right thing that should be happening to you. And there's a reason why it is happening. Even if you can't understand the reason, even if it feels like it's all bad, everything that happens to you is for your own good. Either so you win, God gives you a gift, you deserved it from the fruits of your labor. You deserve to eat the fruits of your labor. Or it's by taking something away from you so that you learn something. You grow and you learn and you become better and you become more knowledgeable about life and about yourself. But the only way that you can learn and become more knowledgeable about yourself and about the world is by losing something. If you always win and you always gain something good, you're never going to learn anything because you're going to start thinking you're the shit. You're going to start thinking you're perfect. And you're never going to learn anything because you're going to keep thinking to yourself, well, I don't have to learn anything because everything is going well in my life. But that's not the case for anyone. For no one, that is the case. So the only way that God can teach us something, and the only way that the world, if you don't believe in God, the only way that life, the world can teach us something is by giving us a loss, is by giving us failure, giving us rejection, and is by taking something away from us that we cherished and we valued and held close to our heart a lot. Because he wants to show us something and he wants us to learn something. It's hard to have blind faith in the universe, blind faith in God, but it's also the right thing to have. And you'll have way more peace of mind. You'll be way more joyful with your life, and you'll be way more content and way more happy with everything you have when you're capable of trusting the Lord and trusting the world with blind faith. Just understanding that even if I can't rationalize everything that is happening to me right now, even if it isn't making any sense, even if it's unfair, even if you don't deserve it, even if whatever, you just understand that whatever happens to me, there is a reason for it, and whatever happens to me needed to happen in order for me to learn something and in order for me to grow. So whatever happens to you, good or bad, it's always good in a way because you're either going to win from it or you're going to learn something from it. And also, if I might add, everything that happens in this world happens for a reason. all the suffering, all the good things, everything happens for a reason. Even if we can't understand it, even if it feels like it's the worst fucking thing on earth, wars, cancer, whatever, there's a reason for it. We cannot see the bigger picture. Our mind is limited, but the world's wisdom, God's wisdom, life's wisdom, energy's wisdom, the universe's wisdom is unlimited. There's no limit to it. And they see things that we cannot see simply because our brain, our perception, our vision of the world, our knowledge of the world, our knowledge of human beings, our knowledge of the universe is limited and will always be limited. That's why there will always be questions that we cannot answer. Even when we find answers to questions that we couldn't answer in the past, we're only gonna get even more questions in the future that then we're always not gonna be able to answer. That is life. There are some things we will never know, and that is just how it is. So if you're gonna waste all your time and all your energy dwelling on things that you have no control over, you're gonna live a really miserable life. You're really gonna be stubborn. You're not gonna be happy. You're gonna be what is his name? Cynical. You're gonna be cynical. You're gonna be grumpy. You're not gonna be grateful, and you're gonna spend your entire life sad, angry, mad, anxious, whatever. But if you're capable of accepting whatever happens to you, always remaining grateful, because no matter what happens to you, no matter who you are, there's always a reason, and there are always multiple reasons that you need to be grateful for. Let's say me, right? Okay, maybe I haven't accomplished all my biggest dreams, but I'm healthy. I live in a country where there's no war. All my family members are healthy, are happy, are living well. I can eat whenever I want. I can go to the gym. I have friends. I can almost do whatever I want. I'm healthy. I go to the gym. I have a good job. I'm finishing my university. My parents immigrated to a good country. There's always things that I should be grateful for. Even, let's say, simply something as not being bald, right? I mean, it's something that is considered to be purely luck, purely genetics. Just the fact that I'm born with hair, I'm not born with hair, but just the fact that I still have my hair, that is something that I should be really grateful for, right? I mean, people tend to forget but that's like something that I deserve. Actually, it isn't. Some people are just born bald, not born bald, but they become bald because they have that genetic inside of them. So that's in a way unlucky. So that is something you should be thankful for. Some people are born in a wheelchair. Imagine that. Just the fact that you're able to walk is a big fucking blessing, that we feel like it's something that's normal. I mean, quote unquote, it is normal, but in a way it's not owed to you. You're blessed to be able to walk. Some people are born with cancer. How many little kids are born with cancer? They don't deserve it. They didn't do anything bad. They're just born with cancer. You're born fully healthy. That's something that you should thank God every single day and be grateful for every single day, that you're not born with cancer, because some people are born with cancer. Some people are born blind. Imagine that, being born blind. You understand how crazy that is? Just the fact that you're born not blind is something that you should be really fucking grateful for. Like really, really fucking grateful for. Just the fact that you're born in a country where there's no war. Imagine being born in Palestine. Like with war, you're a little kid, you're 5, 6 years old, you're supposed to enjoy life, enjoy your childhood with your friends, go to the park, play soccer, ride your bike, have fun. But now you have to live in constant fear of bombs dropping over your head. That's something to be grateful for, right? Being born in a country where there's no war. Being born in a country where water is basically free. I mean, I can just go right now up in the kitchen, open the sink, and there's going to be water flowing unlimitedly, right? There are some countries where little kids and people are starving for water. They just don't have access. They don't have easy access to water. Imagine that. Something as basic as drinking water, something as normal and something that we see as normal. You know, you want to drink water? Yeah, sure. Thank you. A bottle of water. Who cares? Wow, big thing. Actually, it can be seen as a big thing for many places across the world, right? So just being born fully healthy and still being fully healthy, just that is enough for you to be beyond grateful every single day. Just the fact that you're fully healthy and fully capable. And that is one reason that you should be really grateful. Then on top of that, you can add many things. Being born with a roof over your head, having a roof over your head, having food, having clothes, having a car, having a job, having friends. How many people don't even have friends? Like, it's sad to say, but some people just don't have friends. And they go to work, they go home, they don't have a girlfriend, they don't have a girl that they can see, they don't have any friends. They go home alone, they go to work, they go home, whatever. So, I mean, just having friends can also be something that you're really grateful about. Or how about having real friends? How many people have friends, but they're not real friends, right? That's also something to be grateful about. Because what's the point of having friends if they're not real friends, right? I mean, they're acquaintances. Like I have, if we consider people we know, people we can talk to a little bit friends, then I have millions of friends. But how many real friends do I have? I'm lucky to say that I have maybe 3 or 4 real friends that I can count with everything. 3 or 4 maybe if I'm lucky. So just the fact that I have 3 or 4 is something I can be really grateful about. And the list goes on. That's just from the top of my head. But no matter who you are, no matter where you are, there's always something that you can be grateful for. And there always will be something that you can be grateful for. Next topic. Okay, so guys, recently I watched the documentary on Netflix. It is Inside the Manosphere. It's with Charles Theroux, something like that. I forgot his name. I think it's Charlie or Charles Theroux. And he talked about, he makes documentaries for a living. That's his job. And he made a documentary about the manosphere. The manosphere, for people who don't know, it's all regarding like Andrew Tate, regarding like, people who talk like, oh, women should stay in the kitchen. She needs to serve me. I should have like 5 or 6 wives because men are made to have 5 or 6 wives. That's the manosphere. Like, you guys know if I only say Andrew Tate, you already know what I mean. That's the manosphere. And it's really popular. Many influencers are far into the manosphere. Like, what's the name of the guy who has the Fresh and Fit, Myron, right? Myron Gaines. He has a Fresh and Fit podcast. And his podcast, his show is all about bringing women and, I mean, literally bashing them. I mean, I'm going to say it for what it is. He's literally bringing women who, for his defense, they aren't the most educated women, because sometimes they do ask them questions like, name me 3 countries, and then they say France, Barcelona. Then you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, Barcelona. But so at the same time, like, yes, they're really not knowledgeable and they don't have a lot of education. But at the same time, I mean, like, he's bringing a lot of women. And like, I feel like his purpose is simply to bash them. And I'm against that. I mean, it's a bit like a low ball. It's a bit like a low shot, like a cheap shot. But at the same time, he isn't forcing them to be there. He isn't pointing a gun at them and say, oh, you have to be on my podcast. They voluntarily and deliberately want to go on his show because he has a big podcast and that will bring them a lot of clout and a lot of fame, quote unquote. And most of them are OnlyFans girls. So they want more people, more visibility. They want more people to subscribe to them so they can have more money. So to his defense, I mean, fuck, he's not forcing them to be there. He's simply asking them. But at the same time, like he is sometimes promoting false information, which is true. Like, he once put a video up of a guy on Instagram saying that the more sexual relationships a woman had, and then when a guy is going to have a baby with her, there's going to be a chance of that baby being like mutated with all the other sperms inside of her from other guys in past relationships. And then that can create a baby with multiple fathers. That's false information. That's not true. No matter how many sexual relationships a girl has had, no matter how many fucking guys came inside of her, if she becomes pregnant, only one sperm can pregnant her. Only one guy can pregnant her. There's no such thing of sperms mixing and then creating one sperm, and then by the same time it's 2 dads, but with one sperm because they fucking mutated together. That is false information. And that is something that with social media, you have to watch out a little bit for, because like it or not, I can have a platform. I can have a voice on social media, and so can anyone else. So of course, people can go on in front of the camera and just say whatever and promote false information for whatever agenda they want to promote. So that is something. But so talking about the manosphere, right? They talked about Bonnie Blue, right? Now, Bonnie Blue, the fact that she slept with 1,000 men and she is proud about it. I don't want to get all Andrew Tate and all manospheric about it, but it is kind of fucking gross. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, there was like a video of her in a room, and then she went outside and there's like a lot of guys waiting in a line, and they're just waiting to go inside the bedroom and like have sexual relationships with her. That is kind of fucking gross, and I'm against it. Of course, she didn't do anything illegal. The people there didn't do anything illegal. I understand she has the right to do whatever she wants, But it doesn't change the fact that it's something fucking disgusting. Because imagine that was your daughter, right? Would you like your daughter to say publicly and to sleep with 1,000 men? Because for her, that's kind of an accomplishment, and it's like a life goal. It's a bucket list check that she has. Like, that is kind of fucking crazy. Like, I don't want to get all like Andrew Tate and all manosphere, Andrew Tate-esque, whatever. But it is fucking disgusting. Like, man, imagine that was your daughter. Would you like your daughter to be Bonnie Blue? I'm talking to all guys right now. No, you wouldn't, right? I mean, no, you fucking wouldn't. And if your answer is yes, I wouldn't mind, then you have a problem, bro. See, because no one would like for his daughter to get banged by 1,000 random men for some sense of pleasure, some sense of like fulfillment and goal achievement. That's kind of fucking crazy, if I'm being honest. But hey, each to his own. But yes, my thoughts on Bonnie Blue sleeping with 1,000 men and being proud about it, that's fucking crazy. And if I might add, it is disgusting, man. I mean, fuck. I mean, and like, if I might add, I could never marry her. There's no chance. I don't care how much money you're giving me, just because she slept with 1,000 men. I mean, forget about it. There's no talking about it. There's no debating it. That's fucking crazy. And the fact that she's proud about it, I mean, she has a right to be proud about it. She has a right to do whatever she wants with her life. All the more power to her. I wish her all the best and all the health in the world. But I don't know, like, what is there to be proud about? Like, I don't know. She simply opened her legs to 1,000 different men. I mean, she didn't work hard for it. I mean, some people can debate that it was hard work. I mean, it's up for debate. I guess maybe it was hard work. But she didn't really like do something that's scary to do. She didn't become a better person. She didn't, I mean, strive to become better. She didn't strive to accomplish a goal. She simply laid in a bed and had 1,000 different random people go and sleep with her. I mean, it's kind of fucking crazy, right? And who are those 1,000 guys? I mean, I guess like if you're first in line, I mean, that's not that bad, right? You're first in line, so you don't give a fuck who's going after you. But imagine man number 1,000. Like, how can you even, like, personally, me, like, on some real shit, if I'm not man number one, if I'm man number 1,000, I couldn't get hard. I couldn't, because I just think about all the other men who like slept with her before me and did all these things. I would just be so fucking turned off. I couldn't sleep with her. Not even being man number 1,000. Imagine being man number 50, man number 20, man number 500, man number 600, man number 3, man. If I'm in a fucking line and I see 2 guys in front of me that I know that they're waiting in a line to go and have sex with this girl that I'm also supposed to be going after, I couldn't get hard, man. I would be so disgusted and so repulsed. I would just leave, and I couldn't go forward with it. So I don't know who those 1,000 guys are. Maybe the first one's like, I don't know, he's like the most, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just crazy. I just wanted to add that fact. It's crazy. But if one guy was to sleep with 1,000 women, now that would be an accomplishment. Call me sexist, call me whatever you want to call me, but that's a fact, and that is how I see it. A girl sleeping with 1,000 men, that's not a fucking accomplishment. It's actually disgusting. But a man who's capable of sleeping with 1,000 women, now that's a fucking accomplishment. Why? Because the guy had to put in a lot of fucking effort in order to sleep with those women, and it's a lot of fucking exercise, man. But it's a lot of fucking effort, and it's really hard. A girl simply has to open her legs and almost anyone's going to sleep with her. But a guy, that's not the case. So that's why, like I said, call me sexist. Maybe it is sexist. I don't know. In my opinion, it's not. It's just how life is. In my opinion, that's how I see life. A woman sleeping with 1,000 men, not an accomplishment. A man, though, sleeping with 1,000 women, that's a fucking accomplishment. That's a real accomplishment. And that's something that he should be proud about. And that's something that we should applaud him for and congratulate him for, because that's an accomplishment. Next topic. Someone said, notice how fast body positivity disappeared once Ozempic hit the market. They wanted to be fit. They just didn't want to work for it. I mean, of course, at the end of the day, no one wants to be overweight. No one. Who the fuck wants to be overweight? Who wants to be unhealthy? Who wants to be overweight? No one. So even people talking about like, oh yeah, body positivity, Being overweight is healthy, it's beautiful, it's this or that. I don't want to get into beautiful because beautiful is something that's subjective. We all have our own definition of what is beauty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But you can ask whichever doctor, you can ask anyone, being overweight, being obese is never healthy, never was, and never will be. And not only that, mentally you feel way better when you are in shape and when you are in good physical shape. That's a fact of life. As human beings, our body, our mind is connected to our physical body. So when the body is doing well, the brain will do well also. So it goes together. But not only will the brain feel better, not only will you feel mentally clearer and be mentally in a more positive mindset, and have better mental health, but you will also have better physical health. All your organs are going to work better. And this is purely scientific. This not like opinion based. It's purely scientific. When you are in your correct weight, in your correct body index BMI, when you are in your healthy BMI, your organs work better, your brain works better, your blood flow works better. Everything in your body, in your physical body works better, and everything in your mental state works better also. And that's a fact of life. Now, it doesn't mean that simply someone being in shape is necessarily going to be in better mental health than someone who's out of shape. There's many people who kill themselves and who were in really good shape. Doesn't necessarily mean that one goes with the other, but the chances are that when you are in better physical shape, you have higher chances of being in better mental health also at the same time. But yes, like this guy said, I just want to add, no one wants to be overweight. Of course, some people are going to say, no, I don't mind. It's actually beautiful. It's actually healthy. Body positivity, whatever. It's actually not good and it's not healthy. Now, beautiful, that's up for debate. Some people find it attractive, some don't. There's no right or wrong answer there. But in general, I can say that in general, people don't find people who are obese to be good looking. In general, of course. I mean, it's up for debate. There's no right or wrong. But in general, I can confidently say that if I had to ask 100 people, more people would say that people who aren't overweight/obese are more in general attractive than people who are overweight and obese. And that's something that I'm willing to fucking place my house on as a bet. And also there's like this trend on social media where, and it's not a trend recently, it's been a trend ever since I've been on social media, where guys go on beaches, where guys go in public spaces and ask women the following question. Do you prefer a dad bod or a six-pack? And most women say a dad bod. Now, when I say dad bod, they don't mean someone who's overweight or obese. They mean a dad bod is like a fucking dad bod. We all know what I mean when I say dad bod. More women say dad bod over six-pack. I think that they're not lying, but they're not saying what they find physically more attractive. I just think that they're saying what they find more attractive, as in the guy who has a dad bod, he's going to be less self-centered in general, and he's going to be less egoistic and less narcissistic than the guy who does have a six-pack. There's more chances of the guy who has a six-pack to be more narcissistic, to be more egoistic, to be more, oh, look at me, I'm this, I'm that, I'm better. And he's going to spend more time looking at him and caring for himself than looking at his girlfriend and caring for his girlfriend. At the same time, it can make his girlfriend, it can make the girl be more like, how can I say this? Be more insecure about herself. That's why I feel like they said dad bod over six-pack. I don't believe that they truly find physically more attractive a dad bod over six-pack, although maybe some girls do. Like I said, when it comes to these type of topics, there's no right or wrong. But I feel like in general, if you were to simply ask them what is more physically attractive to the eye, most of them would say six-pack. But what type of man do you want to be in a relationship with? Most of them would say a dad bod. I agree. I believe that is the right answer, because girls, in my opinion, don't care so much about looks as we guys in general. Like all guys I know, they mostly care only about looks and then personality, whatever. Girls, from what I see from my personal experience, when it comes to being in relationships, when it comes to being in a relationship with a guy, when it comes to choosing a guy for a relationship, I feel like they do care about physical attractiveness, but not as much as we guys, like way less than we guys. That's how I see it. Although it does vary from woman to woman, from girl to girl, it does vary from person to person. But in general, women care way less than men when it comes to physical attractiveness. So that's why they go with, okay, with the guy with a dad bod has higher chances of being less self-centered, being less all about me, myself, and I, being less narcissistic, being less like of a dickhead, being less of a douchebag than the guy with a six-pack. In general, of course, doesn't necessarily mean that that's the case. You can have a guy like fucking Donald Trump, right? He's fucking fat as fuck. As much as I love him right now, but I mean, it's a fact. He is fat as fuck. And he is narcissistic. He is self-centered. He is all about me. And he is like it or not, he is kind of an asshole. And he doesn't have a six-pack. And then you can have a guy who does have a six-pack, I don't know who from the top of my head, who's really nice, really compassionate, not narcissistic, not self-centered, and yada, yada, yada. So, again, it's case by case, but in general, there's higher chance of the guy with a six-pack being more of a dickhead or of a narcissistic maniac than the guy who has a dad bod in general, of course. And that's why I feel like when you ask a girl that question, they choose dad bod because they think about how he's going to be mentally and not how he looks physically. Because they care more about a guy's personality and about a guy's way of being than about how he looks. And talking about being in shape, whatever, shout out to Diamond Gym, man. They do a lot of content on social media, on YouTube basically, and I find them funny as hell, man. Like, of course, like how I see their type of working out, their type of training it's to the excess. It's abuse. Like they bring a lot of fucking celebrities, like Matt Rife went twice. He loves being there, and many other celebrities went there. Their way of training, for people who don't work out and won't start working out, don't look at them. That's fucking extreme as fuck. It's not science-based. It's the opposite of science-based. It's all about every single day surmounting who you were, and they do PRs every single day. Like I never do PRs because I don't aim for strength, but for people who do aim for strength, they do PRs every single day. But for them, working out is more of like a mental relief than of a physical gain relief. It's more of a mental relief for them. But still, shout out to them. I fucking love their content. But the philosophy that they have behind their way of working out, it's about when the body says no, you still keep pushing with your mind. You have the mind power to keep pushing even when your body says no. So in a way, that's why I fucking love them. Now, if you were to ask a science-based lifter, is the way they are training, is it optimal? No, it's not. Like we all know it's not optimal. Even they know it's not optimal. But for the mentality of pushing your limits, surmounting your limits, pushing your limits and facing your fears, whatever, that's like the pinnacle. It's at the top. Like you look at their workouts on YouTube, you can't even fucking believe it. It's like fucking 150 reps of like a lat pull down with crazy weight. You're like, how is it even possible? They know it's not possible. Like your body just fucking shuts down. Like your muscles shut down, but they keep pushing you. No, like whenever your body says no, your mind says yes. You keep fucking going. And if you stop, it's 20 push-ups. Like it's crazy workouts, but still shout out to them because even they know that the way they are working out, it's not optimal because all the guys who work out at Diamond Gym, who do all the content, they are in crazy shape, in pinnacle shape for bodybuilding and whatever. And they know everything when it comes to lifting weights and just being in shape. And they know, like I know it's not optimal, so they definitely know that it's not optimal. But they're not aiming for optimal science lifting. They're aiming for surpassing your limits. That is what they're aiming for. And when it comes to surpassing your limits, they're at the top of the echelon, and I fucking love it. And watching their content, it's funny as hell, and it is motivating as hell. So fucking to them, and I'm telling you guys, shout out to you guys. Keep doing what you're doing because that's a lot. I fucking love your content, guys. And then talking about working out, I mean, it's not good science-based. And something I read recently that is science-based is the best way to a calm mind, the best way to a peaceful, calm, and controlled mind is tiring out your body. It is scientifically proven that the more you tire out your body, the more calm and the more mentally healthy you will be. That's why working out is so important, and that's why moving is important. Walking, doing a physical job. That's why everyone I know that has a physical job, construction, moving, landscaping, whatever it may be, everyone I know that has a physical job, they're all in general more happier and more mentally healthier than people who have a desk job. Of course, in general. I know my grandpa, rest in peace, from my mom's side, he was a farmer, right? He was a farmer. So from 5 a.m., he would wake up at 5 a.m., go feed the animals, do all the farm work. From 5 a.m. to like 4 p.m., he would do all farm work, which is a lot of physical work. It's really fucking physically demanding. But he was also the happiest guy I've ever met. He was the most calm guy. He was mentally really happy, really healthy, and really joyful. And I feel like, of course, maybe he's also born like that, having that a more happy prone brain, but also the fact that he had a really physically demanding job, that also helped him a lot. Because like I said, everyone I know that has a physically demanding job, in general, they are more mentally healthier than people who don't have a physically demanding job, like a desk job where you sit on a desk for 8 hours a day and just look at a screen. And when you think about it, it's natural because for the past fucking 150,000 years, when humanity, for the past 150,000 years that humans exist, we've always been physically active. Always. We've been hunter-gatherers. We've been farmers. We've been this. We've been that. All the jobs that have existed ever since, like, it's only like recently with the Industrial Revolution, maybe a couple of centuries before also with kings and whatever, but everyone was always a blue-collar worker and a physically demanding worker. And that's a fact. But now with people having more like desk jobs where you sit and don't move around physically, and when you don't move around physically, your brain needs physical work and physical activity. That's why working out is important if you don't have a physically demanding job, because if you do have a physically demanding job like construction, moving, landscaping, farming, whatever, you don't need to work out. Believe me, you don't need to work out, because for a couple of months, I've done a physically demanding job moving. And once you're finished doing that job for 8 hours, you don't want to go to the gym. Number one is because you don't need it. You're so fucking tired that you don't need it. You burned all the necessary calories and even more than you had to. And mentally, you feel really well. Like when I used to do moving, it's a really fucking disgusting job, if I might add. It's really fucking demanding, really hard. It was during the summer, hot as fuck. But whenever I would finish that job, like mentally, I would just feel really good, man. And it's not a good job. I mean, if you look at it, it's a bad job. I would do it for cash on the side. It's not the best job. But since it's a really physically demanding job, you just feel good after it. So the same goes for people who work in construction. Everyone I know who works in construction, I feel like they're all mentally healthy and they're all always happy because they do a lot of physical work. And then when you do a lot of physical work, your mind is sharp, your mind is healthy, and your mind is happy, man, from what I saw and from personal experience. Okay, talking about social media. Sometimes with social media, you have to watch out, especially when it comes to clips. Now, with clips being almost like the main source of entertainment for most people, like if you think about it, think about all the biggest podcasts you watch, all the biggest influencers you listen to, whatever. In general, you mostly only watch his or her clips. Because clips, it's quick, it's easy, and you get the information immediately. It may be podcasts, it may be vlogs, it may be live streams, whatever it may be. In general, clips is like the number one thing people see. Like the reason I know all these streamers like Kai, iShowSpeed, do you really think I go on Twitch and watch their live streams? No, fuck no. I don't have time to sit in my bed and watch 5 hours of Kai sitting in his living room and talking about and doing whatever. When I go on Instagram, when I scroll down my clips, I see clips of him. That's how I knew about him. That's how I knew about whatever. But with clips in general are short and they only show something that they want you to see, right? Or in a way that you can only see. Because let's say there's many episodes that I did where I explained something, but I know that if I take the full 3 minutes of it, where I actually took 3 minutes to explain it, if I clip that, no one's going to listen to 3 minutes of me talking in a clip. It's too much. I'm going to lose their attention. They're just going to swipe away. They're not going to give a fuck. So I have to like cut it down to like 45 seconds, a minute to the max, like a minute 15 to the max, because I know that in general, that's like the best time for a clip. But in that 45 seconds, I can say something, but then if I added another 45 seconds, you will get a different idea of everything that I wanted to say. And this also goes for people who are really fucking famous, where people clip their own, people who are really famous, they don't do their clips anymore. Maybe they do, but there are many other people who do their own clips. And let's say someone who has a podcast where he talks for an hour and a half about something, well, he can find maybe a 30-second about something, clip that 30-second and put it on social media, and everyone sees that 30-second, and that 30-second is completely out of context because it's only 30-second of something he was explaining for an hour and a half. But that 30-second is what everyone will see, and because of that 30-second, everyone will have an idea about him that isn't the truth. Like once when I said, and I'm quoting, Nick Fuentes literally once said that all women should stay in the kitchen, shut the fuck up, and all blacks should be in prison. Now imagine someone who hates me, imagine I'm famous and someone who hates me wants to take me down. Now he can literally clip everything that I just said despite this past 5 seconds, but he can take out the part of Nick Fuentes once said, he can cut that out, and then there's a clip of me saying, women should shut the fuck up, stay in the kitchen, and blacks should be in prison for the most part, and all immigrants should be taken out, and yada, yada, yada. So that is why you should watch out for clips, because like I said just now, like I did, I mean, not a lot of people are going to watch my long form content, but people in the future could, if I become famous and people want to take me down, they could clip that 10 seconds of me saying that, take out Nick Fuentes, and make it look like I said what I was actually quoting Nick Fuentes. So that's why you should watch out sometimes for clips, because clips are really short and they can be taken out of context if you don't see the full image and the full whatever. Like, let's say there's a video of a guy hitting a guy, right? Imagine you see a video 5 seconds, there's a guy who goes behind a guy and punches him behind the head. You can say, what a fucking piece of shit, he sucker punched the guy. But if you watch the video 10 seconds earlier, the guy went and hit his kids, right? He hit his kids, like, what the fuck? The guy went away, he was walking away, and the guy who came from behind and fucking hit him. Still, hitting a guy from behind still is considered sucker punch, but since he hit his kids, you're gonna have a different opinion of him and a different perception of him than if it was simply a clip of him going behind the guy's head and sucker punching him. You're still gonna have a different perception, and there's only a 5 second that was added, and that is why you should watch out for social media and for clips in general. Now let's get back to being philosophical. Stop thinking that you're not made for great things. And I do mean that every single human being is created for a reason and for a purpose on planet Earth. We're all created for great things, and we're all created for a purpose. No human being is created by accident. At least that's how I see it. If the universe created you, it's for a reason and it is for a purpose. So stop thinking that you're no one, that you're a nobody, that you cannot accomplish your dreams, and that you cannot do whatever you want to do. You can. You are meant for great things, and you do have a purpose on planet Earth. All 8 billion people, no matter how untalented you see yourself, no matter how badly of an image you have of yourself, believe me, God doesn't see you that way. God sees you as whole, as perfect, and God made you in his image for a reason and for a purpose. So stop playing small. Stop thinking that there's nothing more to life than what you simply have right now, and start aiming for all the things that you want to aim for, and start moving towards everything that you want to accomplish and everything that you want to have, because God made everyone for a purpose, and there's a great, great reason and a higher reason for your living and for your existence. And people, let me get back to also people who hate on celebrities. Recently, there was the Oscars. I didn't watch. I even forgot that there was the Oscars. But I always see people on social media, when there is, let's say, an actor talking about a political situation, many people bash them and say, you're an actor, you shouldn't be talking about political situations, you should shut the fuck up. But then also when that same actor decides to not be vocal about political situations and about political stuff, then people also bash them because, oh my God, why aren't you talking about the war in Palestine? Why aren't you talking about this? Why aren't you talking about global warming? So, like, some people bash celebrities, bash actors, bash singers, bash celebrities for whatever reason. When they talk about politics, they bash them. When they don't talk about politics, they bash them. When they don't address certain situations and certain topics, they bash them. When they do address certain topics and certain situations, they bash them. How I see it is, that individual who is famous, who does have a platform, he has free will, and he is living in a country where he has democracy and where he has the right to do whatever he wants to do as long as he's not breaking the law, right? He has that right. So if he wants to use his platform to talk about global warming, he has the right to. If he doesn't want to, he also has the right to. Leonardo DiCaprio, if you look at his Instagram is all about climate activism. It's all about climate activism. Now, some people can say, shut the fuck up, you're an actor, what do you know about climate activism? And some people can say, oh, you know what? It's actually really good that you are talking about climate activism. That's not my point. My point is that Leonardo DiCaprio, just because he's famous, just because he has a huge platform, doesn't necessarily mean that he has this duty to talk about political situations and to talk about global warming and to talk about certain topics that we feel like some people should talk about. He doesn't have to. If he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to. If he wants to, he has the right to. That is my main point. Those individuals who acquired that fame, that status, that platform, whatever, they have the right to talk about whatever they want to talk about. They have the right to address any situation, any topic that they want to address, but they also have the right to not address what they don't want to address and to just be silent about whatever they want to be silent about. They have that right and they have that liberty because they are who they are, and you cannot force them to do something that they don't want to do because that is not how life is lived. And we're not in communism China, where someone can force you to do something. We live in America and Canada, where you have free will to do whatever you want as long as you're not breaking the law. Okay, so let me make in my opinion, when it comes to making friends, at least from what I saw, men have it way easier than women when it comes to making friends and maintaining friendships. Way easier from what I saw. And the reason why is because it's generational, right? Let's say humans have existed for 200,000 years, to make a round number, right? So humans have existed for 200,000 years, right? Out of those 200,000 years, 199,500 years, men have gone to war. Going to war, I don't know, I've never been to war, but from what I hear, from what I saw, from what I heard, it is probably the hardest thing to do on planet Earth, and the most fucking scary thing to do is go to war. Men went to war. Throughout history, men were always the people who went to war. And when they are the ones who went to war, you go with other men. So you have to create this sort of bondship, this sort of friendship, which will make going to war easier. And of course, when you go to war with other men. So you have to have this bond, this brotherhood, which will make you be ready to sacrifice your life for your brother or do something crazy in order for you and your army members and your soldiers to survive together. So that's why I feel like, and this isn't only for the past 100 years, like with World War II and World War I. This goes back ever since humanity exists. Men in general were always the ones who went to war. So that's why I feel like that plays a part in why men nowadays in 2026, they have it easier when it comes to creating bonding, when it comes to creating friendships and maintaining friendships. So from what I saw, in general, men have it way easier and they're way faster to making friends than women. Like, guys can become friends really fucking quick from what I saw and from my personal experience. Like, if I see a guy and he fucking loves Messi and we start talking about football and we kick it, we're going to become friends. Now, to which degree, that's a different question. But we're going to be able to go out, have a beer together and just chill out for a night and then go home to our separate house and whatever. But women, I feel like they don't have it as easy as guys do. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why, is because for the past 200,000 years, men were the ones who went to war, and they went to war with other men. And going to war is really fucking scary. It's really traumatic, and it's really like a big thing. So that's why it puts you in a bond, in a special bond with other people, which you can never have with someone else if you didn't go to war with him. Going to war with someone is going to create a friendship and a bond that cannot be broken for the rest of your life. Like, I'm pretty sure guys who went to World War II and came back alive with their other soldiers, I feel like They had a bond for the rest of their life that couldn't be broken by money, couldn't be broken by greed, by women, by whatever. It's like a bond that you have for the rest of your life because you guys literally went to war together. I feel like there's nothing that brings guys closer than them going to war together, facing death and facing the biggest fear you can face together as a team. That has to be like a life-changing fucking bond, a life-changing relationship, that a bond that cannot be broken, that no money can break it, no relationship can break it, no women can come in between. I feel like it's a crazy bond that men create when they go to war together. I'm pretty sure like people who went to Vietnam together who are still alive are going to say the same thing. Actually, I saw a lot of podcasts with soldiers who were in Vietnam, and they say that the bonds they created with other guys going to war together in the same fleet, in the same like team, that when they came back home, they had this bond that couldn't be broken by whatever or whoever. Don't focus on your haters. You're always going to have haters. Don't focus on what they say. And if I might add, the more haters you have, the better you're doing in life. Because if you're not doing well in life, no one's going to hate on you because you're not doing well in life, so no one's going to care about you. But the more haters you have, the happier you should actually be. It should actually be the opposite. People in general, the more haters they have, the sadder they become, and the more like angry they become and more anxious. But it should actually be the other way around. You should be happy when you have more haters, and the more haters you have, the happier you should be. The only thing you should fear is not having haters, but it is not having haters. You should fear not having haters in your life, because if you don't have haters, that means you're not doing something well with your life. If you are doing well in life, if you are doing something well in your life, if your life is doing well, and if you are accomplishing a lot and becoming successful, you will have a lot of haters, which is just normal. So you shouldn't. And also, when haters hate on you, that should always be like white noise to you. It shouldn't even enter your conscious mind. You should not even give a fuck, because that's only their opinion about you. You shouldn't even give a fuck about you. You should only care about your own opinion about yourself. That's the only thing that truly matters. And like I said, you should not fear having haters. You should fear not having haters, because when you don't have haters, when you literally have zero haters, it means you're not doing well in life. And that's a fact. The better off you are in life, the better you are doing in life, the more haters you will have. I fucking love social media, man. Yes, there are cons, but I feel like there are way more pros. And one thing that I do love a lot about social media is, before, if you wanted to accomplish something, to be someone in the public eye, there was always a middleman. If you wanted to be an actor before in the 1960s, you had to go to auditions. Then a guy had to decide if he's going to take you or not, and that guy was going to decide he can make errors. He's not perfect. He doesn't know exactly who's the best. Like, he has good knowledge, but he can make a lot of errors. Like, let's say Messi. When Messi went to trial for a club in Argentina, the club told him, no, we don't want to pay you for your growth hormones because we don't feel like you're worth it. Fast forward to 2026, he's the fucking greatest player of all time. So the guy in Argentina, from the Argentinian club, do you think that he regrets his decision? Of course he fucking regrets his decision. That Messi ended up being the fucking greatest player of all time. So he made a mistake. But now with social media, anyone can have a platform, and there's no middleman. There's no middleman. There's no hidden agenda. It's simply you, your voice, your face in front of a camera, and then showing yourself to the world, and then the world decides if you're going to become famous, if you're going to have status, and if you're going to have money. The world decides. There's no middleman. There's no guy. Because imagine you're an actor, like, right, in the 1960s. Like, this happened a lot with women. It happened a lot with Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe, before women, when they wanted to have roles, not all women, but some women, if they wanted to have a role in acting, they had to sleep with a disgusting producer, and then they will get the role. So it's not out of competency. It's not out of talent. It's simply out of that one guy who has the power to decide who's going to be in front of a camera, who's going to be famous. Well, he wants to get his dick sucked. He wants to get laid by that girl. So he tells that girl, you know what? You're maybe shit at acting, but if you suck my dick, you're gonna become famous. And that's why I'm happy that now with social media, that's not the case. That's not the case. Anyone can become famous. You simply need a camera, working Wi-Fi, and you can have status, you can have a platform, and you can become famous because it's simply you with the people. It's like these live streamers, right? Or these podcasters. They simply do content, they put it out to the world, and the world decides if they want to follow them or if they don't want to follow them. But before, like I said, in the 1960s, if you had one movie that they were looking for like a woman to play a certain role, they would have 10 women, and maybe out of those 10, 9 of those 10 women aren't qualified. They have no acting skill, and one of those 10 has the best acting skills, is the most qualified, but she's not attractive physically. Then the producer won't have the necessity, won't have the urge to want to sleep with her. So he's simply not going to give her the role because he wants to sleep with these 9 other girls or this one other girl, but she has no acting skills, she has no competency. So, but the producer, who does have the power to put women in front of a camera and make her famous, then he's going to tell her, well, if you sleep with me, I'm going to put you in front of the camera, you're going to become a star. I mean, that's why I'm happy with social media. Now with social media, there's no middleman, and it's simply you against the world. You showing yourself, your content, and your skills to the world, and then the world will decide if you deserve to become famous and to make money with your content. Okay, so of course, being religious, I am religious, but I mean, like, they're religious to a certain degree. Like, there are some certain things that I don't agree with and certain things I disagree. Like the Bible, I always said it was written by man, and the Bible isn't something, in my opinion, that is set in stone. It's something that needs to be changed with time, because through time, the world changes, humanity changes, we have new knowledge. So of course we have to change things. Like before, in the Old Testament, it was like illegal. It was against the will of God to be gay. But now we know that there's nothing wrong there. It's just a normal human, like, natural reaction to be gay. Even some animals are gay, like homosexual is just normal. So that's why I feel like the Bible, it shouldn't be something that is set in stone, because it wasn't written by God. It didn't fall from the sky. It was written by people who had a certain limited knowledge at that time in that society. So now with time, it has to change. But there is something that many Christians nowadays, they say, like, sex is a sin, that you shouldn't have sex before marriage, whatever. Now that's fucking crazy. If whatever, sex is not a sin, but not having sex is a sin, in my opinion. If I'm being honest, this is my religion. Not having sex, that's a fucking sin. Having sex is not a sin, but not having sex is a sin. God gave us these urges. Having sex is fun. It's healthy. It's actually really healthy. Also, doctors say that not having sex is not healthy. Having sex is really fucking healthy for all human beings, man or woman. It's really healthy for you. It's also mentally really healthy for you, and physically it's also really healthy for you to have sex. That's based on science-based, and all doctors say the same, that having sex is really healthy for you, physically and mentally. So if I might say, sex is not a sin. It's never been a sin, never will be a sin. Not having sex is actually a sin. Book it, sign it, Andrei Delic. That's my fact. That's my word. Okay, let me finish off this episode with 3 Bible verses. Of course, talking about Christianity. Like I said, there are some things in the Bible and regarding Christianity that I disagree with, and there are some things that I agree with. But let's finish off with some Bible verses about being courageous, being perseverant, and being hardworking. So the first Bible verse, James 1:12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life the Lord has promised to those who love him. God will always put trial to us. That is the only way that he can test us. He wants to see if we truly want what we want, and he wants to forge us, to make us stronger mentally and physically in order for us to get our dreams and to get our goals. The only way that we can grow is by being under trial and then surpassing our fears, surpassing our limits, and winning those trials. So if you're capable of standing the test of time, standing those trials that God puts in front of you, then he will crown you. He will gift you with the crown of life, which means he will gift you with all your dreams, and he will gift you with your end destiny. Next Bible verse, Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous. If I might add, in my opinion, like, one of the best attributes a man can have is to be courageous, to face your fears, and to be courageous is one of the biggest, like, attributes, in my opinion, that a man or woman can have. So be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Like I said, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter what you try, no matter how much you fail, no matter how much you succeed, God will always be by your side. So never be afraid to fail. Never be afraid to try something new, because even if you fail, even if you try something new and you didn't like it, even if you wasted time, quote unquote, even if you failed, you face rejection, God will always be by your side, and he will always push you, and he will always encourage you to keep going no matter what happens. And God will always encourage you, no matter how many times you get knocked down, to always get back up and keep fighting for what you want. Last verse for this episode, I'm going to wrap it up right here. 1 Corinthians 9:25. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. No matter what you do, no matter what you accomplish, like Mel Gibson said, like I said in the beginning of the episode, God gives and God takes away. But whenever you keep God in your heart, in your soul, in your mind, you'll always be a winner. No matter what he takes away, no matter what physical good he takes away from you, that is not what's important to God. What is important to God is to have a clear mind, is to follow your soul, follow your intuition, and be right, be true to yourself, and be true to God. And that is when you will have the real crown of life. And that is what actually matters in life. So that was it for this episode, guys. See you next episode. Peace out.